to your monthly reading with me, Sadoshi Silva. In my readings, I let your shadow meet your light so you can be whole again. And I'm a little bit experimenting this new way of filming a bow. I noticed in my last Aries reading that my phone would have, even if I tried to put a setting to film it in horizontal, it end up vertical, and that's why now I filmed this specifically in the membership. I also, who knows, let's see how it goes. It's a nice way to test it, that if somebody is member, they can see this live and comment, and also when I'm less like asking in the Aries reading, like please subscribe, then I could give you answer. It's actually a fair that you're a member, or for sure that you're subscribed, that if I read you in this monthly reading, like a private reading. So I want every horoscope reading to have this kind of element that real Taurus, in this case, can ask a question and it can be relatable to others. So welcome all Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mars and Venus, all Taurus placement, even Chiron, for example, it could be Taurus. Anyway, we have here this love dragon, we have here a monthly reading. Let's get started. So I have already pre-selected your crystal from here randomly. And you got also, as Aries, you got third eye chakra crystal. So there is interesting. I love to see this Halloween. It fits perfectly for my setting also. It's nice that we set the Halloween. Halloween theme is already here, so it is still going. And in this deck also the pumpkins are always kind of like the pentacle cards. That is very Taurus card. So I'm happy to see this pumpkin deck here. Anyway, let's start. So what is your monthly energy now? I hope this is visible well. Let's put the timer up also. So now, what is your, let's get your crystal. So this one card will tell you, Taurus, whole month of October. What is it? It's this. So, interesting. When I was shuffling this deck, I already saw it. And I was thinking like, oh my god, is Taurus gonna get it? But it is true. It was already like trying to come before to my eyes to be seen. So you got this interesting branded. So it was in my weekly love reading in Sunday. This kind of like somebody busy branding their stock, their woman. So anyway, this is kind of like a willingly lifting the skirt. So I was just wondering in that Sunday reading like what this could mean, but this is 26 now. Who knows? It's 26th of October, and then the number could be meaningful for somebody. Even now, Libra season starts now in September. So practically 26th could already be something for some Taurus. We are now having 25th, so tomorrow. Who knows? But here we have this card for you. I also think about immediately like a Sauron. This is kind of like this thing in this ring of power. Is this kind of like a Sauron has this, or the troops of Sauron have this kind of branding tool. So something about it. It could be just something about brands in general, like work and the branding and everything to do with brand is very important now in October. How you brand yourself, how your business is branded, everything about that. But or even sometimes when you get this kind of polio vaccination, you also get a mark. So could it be related to health? Get some vaccination. But anyway, this is your card, Taurus. This is your card. Anyway, a little bit dominance here, I would say. Okay, so next is your Shaman Dream Oracle card. It's from this. We are all sacred dreamers dreaming the world into being. And now let's see for Taurus and Taurus Collective. What is that dream? October. Mailing tree. Reconciliations 59. Interesting. We'll read this in the end. And this will be, Taurus, your opportunity for the month of October. And before we open it, let's see also, here is your challenge for the month October. So this deck will be still used for your special Baba Yaga reading I'm gonna use today. Also this special reading for you, but let's see now. Your opportunity, Taurus. Okay, Six of Pumpkins. I've seen this previously in your readings. It is kind of like a good, because the Five of Pentacle is usually a card when the couple feel like left in the cold, and there is just like a kind of feeling of lack or not having enough. But this is like you're suddenly given, like you would be given fair in the work, or the card gives you something. But in this case, this person is giving candies to the tricksters, all kind of street cats and ghosts. Anyways, it can be that the money is coming. It can be a very positive card, that some blessing is happening in your life, and that's an opportunity that you can receive something, or even that you are so abundant that you can actually give. Because often the abundance works this way, like it is this energy, like you have enough, and then it's kind of like coming back to you. What you give, you get tenfold back. So it's here somehow. Interesting. Anyway, October ends up to Halloween, and it's this kind of thing too. So maybe it's something about that party that's very important. This opportunity anyway for you. And your challenge, the Chariot. That's the Champion, very like a marathon kind of mentality, like very much willpower. So this is totally solar plexus chakra card, that somebody has completely willpower to do something, go even to do this kind of marathon, that the work that is needed to done, or the competition that you sign in. Could be also some true marathon that you are wanting to run now, a marathon, or taking part of the half marathon or something like this. But the nature of this card is sometimes the marathon, like the chariot goes very fast, and then it stops, and then it's like this kind of marathon mentality that you should just keep going and not give up. But there's all this like a masculine and feminine is balanced. This is actually the end of the first cycle, kind of like a material world is coming to end with this kind of major arcana card life path. So you're kind of mastering the material world, or even like you're like a triumphant, really. All these kind of elements from the other cards before. Alexander the Great is anyway connected even to this. Really like a conqueror mentally. It could be something to do with your car also, challenge. I don't know, something about traveling somewhere, because this is usually about chariot, is of course the way of moving somewhere. So as is a challenge, it could be something with your car or something with the car. But anyway, this is a challenge, so let's see. Interesting. Next we're gonna see the runes for the month of October for Taurus. 3 runes. 1, 2, and 3. So we have here spiritual growth. So this is one. Music. And what is this? Love for a man. Okay, so maybe there is something with this relationship, but actually this man, very masculine energy is present in this chariot card. So this, of course, in tarot is often connected to Cancer sign. Could be something about that sign. But love for a man, there's something now here important in October. Music, spiritual growth. Okay, then we will read this in the end. Now I'm gonna give you the current feelings of your person. These are like a interesting cards. You have them here. Da-da-da. Very Halloween. Very much like this kind of trick and treat. Let's see what kind of... Taurus, Taurus. Taurus need to know now what the person is thinking about them. And one more, maybe. How many we get? Okay, somehow, let's see, one more. Okay, so here we go. First one is a love message. I miss you, connection, expressing through feelings, getting closer, finding love language, heartfelt truth. So this is here. Then we have, this love is spiritual, I feel you in my heart. Beautiful, like a Jesus love energy. Okay. Yeah. Sauron and Jesus in the same reading, like completely polar opposite, but I don't know. It can be very, very heartfelt. Even this iron is burning hot. Interesting. Okay, then we have here Rosebud and Thorn. This is helping to brainstorm a team to see bigger picture together and find new solutions. So the rose is about success. So select a word to each. What would be the rose word? The bud is opportunities and the thorn is obstacles or challenge. And you could, with your partner, for example, you could brainstorm about this. Maybe this relationship related even. Something about what is the rose blooming, what would be the opportunities also and challenges. So it's a very healthy way to look at it. Kind of build things together. Happy and joy, peace, happiness, heartfelt relationship, sunshine, light, emotional fulfillment, success. Okay, this is kind of here, very solar energy. Then, just be, receive guidance, speak only to reduce suffering. Silence is gold, speaking is silver. Silence is gold. Yeah, sometimes really listening, it is really a powerful thing. You can really like listen to your partner and they feel much more like loved that way, because it's like you're really understanding what they're going through, and they let them really to offer this kind of like a sacred space to do it, to kind of feel like this, like, yes, like I'm feeling you with my heart and speak to me. It could be even actually this that it's silent. This is a kind of silent way too to write it. It's actually, if you would have ever like a relationship things and you write a letter, I think that is a beautiful way to express heartfelt truths. You don't have to speak, you can write it. Root chakra, I take responsibility for who I am and how my life is. So there is this kind of farmer spirit, again a bit like this kind of, here is in a tractor, but it's kind of forward moving, doer energy. They see you like this. And then Charles Bukowski was a Leo, and it was on 16th of August, but what is said about him? FBI kept file on him as a result of his column Notes of a Dirty Old Man in LA newspaper Open City. So something about your person feels like, maybe there's this kind of feeling of tracking down, like what are you up to, kind of like FBI feeling, like has to be like looking all your moves, or they feel like you are like this with, there's something about that. Keeping a file. Okay, anyway, somebody is interested in every move you make. You're making big moves, because this looks really like a, oh, this is a challenge. This is a challenge to make those kind of really bold moves. Just to have like a lot of willpower to do it. So let's go forward with this reading. We go to this Baba Yaga spread. This is now message from your ancestors. Let's put this aside. This we read in the end. Yes, I will read this in the end as advice. This we keep here. And now I'm using this erotic fantasy tarot. We have 6 card spread. Maybe we put this in the middle. There's something about this Lord of the Ring feelings here with this Sauron style. What's going on here? So, first question. This is like message from your ancestors. We are making this kind of world tree, kind of like a family tree almost. And it goes to the roots, all these questions. And in the end, we have a message even from Baba Yaga, this kind of witchy woman from the forest. So this is now first, it already came before I even said it. Where do I have to focus on this next cycle? And we are talking about now cycle of October. What stops me from healing? Well, these two. Then Taurus. What part of my shadows want to come to a light? And then what would help me to make unfinished business finished? Taurus, what one thing would help you? Okay. It's not just one, 2 things. And then how do I get closer to nature or God? Some kind of like a true nature. We're going down the route. And now comes the wisdom from the grave, from your ancestors, or kind of Baba Yaga, kind of old hack, what they want to say to you. So let's see. First is where you have to focus. Wow, that's a beautiful card. Can you see it? So we have here 9 of Wands. This is totally the person who doesn't give up. It's really like a fighting spirit, like getting the project finished. It is almost finished. Somebody is nice to see even these runes here. Wonder what was the meaning of these runes, but it could be meaningful for you, because I'm using this kind of combined, like a binded runes, but I have also these runes. Maybe we bring them in October. It could be actually meaningful to even use more runes in the reading. These 2 are here. Point is like you are not giving up, and you are like kind of very hardworking person, and you should like focus to get work done. So there is this good energy, working energy. I'm still gonna read this from this booklet because the stories are special. Taurus, this is where you should focus now on the next cycle, meaning this October. So Taurus. Explore what is unknown to us. Fantasy. Lose oneself while following fireflies. The hidden opportunities of pleasure in the unknown. Complete every exploration to reveal its mysteries. So it's kind of like, in the work-wise, it could be even in the relationship-wise, like solve this kind of situations, go until the bottom of the thing, like don't give up. So completely like be like a passionate about the things that you commit. This to focus, this kind of active person. Then we have 2 cards for what stops me from healing. I'm not gonna take reversals now. So this is Sagittarius card. This is usually like a Page of Wands, is very like explorer and adventure, a little bit teenager, like wanting to go for a travel, a bit like a fool. So this adventurous mindsets now, why? And then this is a 5 of Pentacle. You actually have an opportunity. This was just what I was mentioning. This is the next card from here. This can be a mentality to lack. That this case, she's praying for the ancestors. We are having kind of ancestor spread, so it's interesting that this comes up. It's like ancestors are seeing like you're kind of praying to be more abundant, getting more money and so on. Like kneeling before this kind of goddess picture. But this feeling maybe that you are not able to do it yourself, but you need help. Of course, here the opportunity was the help is coming. So, but here stops from healing. Maybe that you feel a little bit like helpless. That like help me, like you could be stronger, because then we have here one who goes for adventures. Maybe a little bit like let me read this card. Just thinking like escaping the issues a little bit. Let's find out. What is this special message? Stops you from healing. Now in October, pay attention. Calm before action. The traveler's rest. Passion grows while waiting to manifest itself. Gather ideas and stimuli. Surrender to trepidation. It could be like indeed like a trepidation, a little bit like what, like this is hesitant to go. This is not set yet to go. A bit like a how willing you are to start from the kind of like a new chapter. Like often school year starts now in autumn, so how much willing you are looking new way things or holding to the old. Like it's a little bit like a hesitant. Maybe that could be like a bit stopping you from really be powerful. You're like a feeling like you're totally in the beginning. And this one, you got anyway these two. Yeah, maybe a little bit not so confident. You should be more feeling confident. Get over with this hesitant energy. Hope in your future. Appeal to the spirit. Sensual richness and beauty can be concealed by doubt and fear. Keep your hopes alive. Continue your search for happiness. Yeah, a little bit like that could be the stopping thing. That you're a little bit like hopeless, a little bit fearful about some new beginnings. This is totally that. Because in this position. So interestingly, while this is the 9, is almost finishing the project. This one is together with that is the completion of the project. So maybe it's just this last push to do something. Like you have to focus on this. You have a difficulty with this. It's almost like you feel like hard about money related or doing this last effort. But still you should keep going. This card was really positive about that. Yes, you got it. So I think this was the one card. What part of my shadow wants to come to a light? Okay, another page. It's really this teenager energy, both sides. So what you could see, what is this kind of teenager part of yourself? Because this was also here. Have you learned something when you were young? Something that, or something happened that made you a little bit like a fearful? Something there about money or about going to out of comfort zone. This is totally, because that is the no, this is a knight. I was starting to say this is a page. No, this is a knight. This is a page, but this is a knight. So other side, the ambitious knight is part of your shadow and is wanting to come alight. And what is about shadow about that? Something about really being focused on winning in every way. That causes problems sometimes. I'm gonna read this also. Anyway, you have here a knight. So actually it's the same, it's the following of this. It's the next of this. This is taking a bold action. From this to this, it is a big change. There is even a horse. It's really like this kind of chariot thing coming. Like even this is going like with the chariot, but it's like there's speed and there's like things. This is kind of passive. This is actually going already. This is thinking about going. Well, this was the problem. This is coming to a light. Yes, you should be definitely bold. And again, this is kind of the missing one to getting the project finished. You need to be understand what it takes to make the work well or finish something. Like the last, maybe this is really like often a person having like a huge like energy that it's pushing through the challenges and making the work done. But just what is in those last moments of finishing a project, something about that you should understand. When you finish a project, how you do it or something. Is it like you are having a little bit like a procrastination here, kind of like getting into this kind of mentality like, oh no, I cannot do it, I cannot have enough money or whatever, like getting a bit sad about things, then having this kind of getting over this emotion like waiting, and then you start to get deadlines on you and you're like, you have to do it now very fast, and that is your shadow. There's something about rushing in, rushing. Let's read about this. I'm busy with the same card, but I think there's something meaning because there's all this want energy here, this passion and purpose connected cards, and that is your shadow wanting to come alight, Taurus. So this is courage and impetuosity. Spur your horse into gallop. Enormous pleasures come from enormous endeavors. Embark on new adventures, accepting the risks that may lead to remarkable results. This talks about like, have you really put all in when you do something? Have you really, or what does it take to put all in? There's something to look at there. Something, because it's a shadow. How does it feel when you are really all in doing some project? Is something that can be done better about that? But this is here. It could be very consuming going so speedy. And actually, yes, this is not a sword. This is like the passionate knight. And again, like I was starting to read it like almost like it was like a knight of sword, because that's totally the ambitious. But this is the passionate builder knight. This is the sexy knight. This is really like the sexy person, but also able to build. But that is something about rushing in, being hasty, maybe doing last minute something, because it's in the shadow coming to a light. There's something about that. Or kind of loose horse, like you are like having totally like your passion take over, like you cannot control yourself, something like that. That's the shadow, the sexy knight. What about that? But you know. But this is also champion, so I mean this Alexander Clay can be very sexy. Something about that. Okay, let's go forward. So now, what would help me to get unfinished business finished? And this is kind of like we were talking about here, like there's something about getting finished the project. You always get this kind of very passionate knight doing it, but then you had that kind of hesitant procrastination energy here. Let's see. Okay, so we have a more want energy. This is the previous from this. So before it went to this card is about 8 of Wands. No, 7 of, no, it's one before even. 7 of Wands is setting your boundaries, holding your ground, standing your ground, being really like a saying what you say yes to and what no to. So yes, what get your project finished that are not getting finished or something, is that you stay committed to your yeses, like a hell yes or hell no, and you're like, you know what you are like fighting for, like why do you do something. You land on this question why you do something, because we have this kind of independent entrepreneur woman here who's able to like make the hard work and abundant, earn well. Could be like a single card too, but this one is here together with this. So knowing that you can do it yourself, and even sometimes the birds are connected to ancestors or like spirits. And while here she was like praying to the gods, a bit more like a passive style, here is kind of getting the listening. Here is totally listening. What did we have this listening? Yeah, silence is called. Is totally listening, kind of like the intuition also here, to be tuned to this abundant energy flow, like not be worrying, but really like this is also showing like how the work is done well. It shows the product, like the wine yards are well kept, and there is coming the wine. So the person is skillful also, but this kind of person you have to be to get your unfinished project finished. So yes, nice. Then we have what gets me closer to God or nature. Okay, 2 ones, a lot of want energy for you now in October, totally like the passion project thing. This can be this, like with these runes written far, like somebody travels. This is this exact card about comfort zone. Are you willing to go out of your comfort zone? And this is that card of choice, but it's also card of traveling and seeing the bigger picture or bigger world, where you're going. Before you set going, you are like planning. So closer to nature. Interesting, like this person is completely Taurus. I have had before this card also in Taurus reading, and like, look, it looks really like Taurus. Maybe you have to remember how you are this kind of brave warrior, also able to kind of be this kind of nomad person who can go to more far than you actually think you can. Like there is this far actually written here even. And here the person is going very like not even thinking almost where he's going, but here is kind of very aware of traveling somewhere or like taking the action. But I'd love to see for the Taurus reading this, because it's all like looking like one. But let's read this. This could be your nice advice also here. This a lot of want energy now for October. So this is what brings me closer to nature or God, is desire for unknown, the wandering through it, the thrill and excitement transmitted by the unknown. Prepare to reveal the mysteries and overcome any limitations. So it's kind of reminding of this kind of, when you start with the one wand, of course this is not the ace of wand or this, but they're also one, like ace of wand. This is kind of the passionate idea, like let's do this. And then it's all about getting that project or like a mission done. And here is like something you plan, then forward, also going, but it's landing back to the fact, like what was your, like why you do something, where you go. Remember that, like kind of the beginning of your project, you could kind of go back a little bit to, these are also 2 together. There's something about this, interestingly. While the same line, sometimes numbers are meaningful. This is 9, 7 and 9 took together, of course 9, and this is again 9. So it's something like 999. This could be an angel number. You could check. I mean, I could actually, after this reading, I could post it in the, there's like 2 here 2. This all together is like 999. Okay, let's see what is here. What is the Baba Yaga's message or your ancestor message for you? Okay, so then we come eventually to these cup stories. After all, we have not even have single sword in this reading. So your tree is full of like branches, sticks, like this is whole tree is just full of like, I mean tree is showing kind of here, but it's full of like this kind of earth energy. But then we have the water here in the end. So remember your friendships. That's the Baba Yaga's message, like how important the friendships are and how you should cultivate it. And maybe you have this kind of three group of friends that are very meaningful for you and could be really like giving you like a even this all work related reading in my point of view. So maybe to remember, like, it's not only about working, it's also about getting together. Baba Yaga wants you to celebrate a little bit this Halloween. Drink a bit. Let's read this also because this is an important card. First cup. We have also, interestingly, we have this wailing tree also as advised. So this tree thing becomes really important soon. Let's see. What is that? Interesting to know for this October and this spread. No major arcana cards in this. But here, the challenge is 7 major arcana. Where is the cups? Sometimes I'm really like just not seeing any here challenges. So we have here 3 of cups for Taurus from the Baba Yaga for your ancestor, especially in the roots of your tree. Sharing and serenity. Celebrations, a spirit of communion and complicity. Reveal your secrets and desires to build a common spirit. Kind of connecting with people, in making possible to maybe drink together something. I'm in Belgium, so I mean here you can always drink beer, good beer. Is there something here also? Kind of like ones are always about this kind of growth thing, and there is also this rose brainstorm for your relationship. Something about that could be also here now in October. Anyway, third eye chakra is always like understand the heart and mind is connected. It's like it's not only about in your head or indeed only about the work, it's also about the feelings and emotions of shared with other people. It can enrich your life. It's nice to see this kind of trick and trees thing going on here. I know some Taurus, they are teachers and they will definitely have this in the school going on this month. Okay, let's see now. This is your advice card. So maybe it binds all this reading together. Reconciliations, but interestingly, this was now your like ancestral tree. And what is this card? That's interesting question too. Branding. Maybe you're very busy branding your something in the business. This is totally work related reading. So your advice for October. It's such a like a autumn tree. I love to see this, and especially when we have the Baba Yaga is kind of peeking from this tree. Like, remember you drink your beer a little bit, Taurus. Okay, it's so funny. Baba Yaga's message on this. Okay, there's this tree here. But this is wailing tree, grief and mourning, a time of necessary losses, reconciliations. When you encounter the wailing tree on your path, it is an invitation to stay a while and regroup. A place for you to rest and allow yourself to say goodbye to what no longer serves. Okay, let's put this up. You may have been overdoing things, working too hard. Okay, we have all this working energy here. Working too hard or putting too much effort into life with little reward. Okay, this is kind of crying about it, like, oh, where is my reward? Where is the money coming? Here is kind of like Candice. If you've been considering making a change, now is the time to do so. One important thing to consider before you make any changes is that you need to allow yourself to feel your disappointment, your loss, and mourn what was and what could not be. This is a way to honor your experience, to give yourself time to consider all the gifts in it, to put proper closure on it, to really know what you've learned as you walk away from it and into something new. Walk away to something new. This was kind of like a healing moment. To walk away to something new, but then it's kind of showing like somebody's going very hasty here. And this is also kind of unknown new frontiers. Maybe it's that. I want to show this too because it's a Taurus looking person. Even in the perception of failure, there is much good to be discovered. However, skipping the stage of loss doesn't get you reconciliation any faster. In fact, you will discover that you will have to come back at some point. So do it all now. Look it at all squarely and honestly and stay with your feelings. Life is not either or, it's both and, this and that. This both and this and that is a good mentality. It's not always like either or. So as you dive in and process this, allow it to become a temporary travel companion on your journey. The feelings that this will bring to the surface will be challenging for sure. Yet, like all things, they will pass soon enough, and you will be more enriched by the experience. Yeah, take everything as experience. That's kind of like a message of this very Baba Yaga looking card. But interesting that this is this marathon mentality. Maybe sometimes to understand, really look at your whole like journey. Maybe write about it. Like see it as a big picture. Like here we had now a tree with the roots. But this could be a good thing to also a little bit relax sometime and not take everything too seriously. This sharing with a friend can be really heart opening, that you need for this third eye chakra, that makes you much more like a less insecure. When you have the heart open and you are in your third eye chakra and it's working for you, you really know things. You are really sure about things. You get vision and really are this kind of person who just know to start going fast to do something, to finish something, because you're really aware, you're very conscious, and that's a good thing. But indeed, human life is all about human experience. We are here experiencing things, and yes, there is a lot of value of experiencing what any feeling tell you or what any experience teach you. So, but here is also spiritual growth. So all this is interesting. The growth is always very plant related. Like maybe you are just growing here. You're just growing to understand yourself in a deeper way. This interesting. There's really this kind of like a tree in your reading. Growth. Here also brainstorming with your partner. Even the paper that would write the love letters is coming from a tree. Okay, I think I'm kind of curious, like I should stop now, but I'm kind of curious to verify something. I want to verify what is this October, this branding energy here, what we want to know about this still. This was your opportunities challenge, but what is that? Okay, so that is a clarity. It's not a bad thing at all, like a new beginning or having a clarity. It's totally this kind of like a third eye chakra moment to see more clear. Maybe pain makes everything a little bit more clear. That is also true about feeling actually physical pain sometimes. You get with those feelings really like a clarity sometimes too. But new ideas, new plans, intellectual ability, victory, success, mental clarity, clear thinking, breakthrough, ability to concentrate, communication, realizing the truth, vision, force, and focus. Yeah, interesting that this is very powerful card now. Like Libra energy is air card, so some powerful new ideas, and you should like be open for it. Okay. So this is your reading. Thank you for seeing this. If you liked it, give me a like. Now I'm doing this in this membership, so I don't think anybody is here seeing this live, but what I'm wanting to see is like, is this recording now in horizontal? If so, I can record this well like that. Otherwise I have to edit it. But thank you for seeing this, Taurus. This is your October. Beautiful growth possibly happening here. Even can be hard emotions sometimes. It's part of life. Okay, thank you for